Today we talk about one of my favorite decks because it basically, I'm not playing Magic the Gathering, and I have the most fun when I'm not playing Magic the Gathering while playing Magic the Gathering. That's right, we're talking about Acererak Turbo Dungeons. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons while everyone else is playing Magic the Gathering at the table. So Acererak, if you don't know, it's 2 and a black legendary creature, or a zombie wizard. When it enters the battlefield, if you haven't completed the Tomb of Annihilation, return Acererak the Archlich from its owner's hand to its owner's hand and venture into the dungeon. Whenever it attacks, for each opponent, create a 2/2 zombie token, unless that player sacrifices a creature. So you can basically amass a huge army of zombies once this actually sticks in play. But we're not. So we're not completing the Tomb of Annihilation. Okay, this is not like to be able to power through Tomb of Annihilation, because once you complete the Tomb of Annihilation, you just get a 4/4 demon, a god horror. It's not even a demon with Death Touch. It's not that good. Yes, you can do it in like 3 steps, but we want to keep playing Acererak over and over and over and over, and you don't have to do the Tomb of Annihilation. I only have this in the deck box and say somebody decides to be like, you know what, I'm going to ruin your day. I'm going to mind control you and make you complete the Tomb of Annihilation to shut your deck off. Because that is an option, so I might as well have this around for that. But no, and we are not doing the Dungeon of the Mad Mage either. It's too many steps, but we might do it once we get to a certain point of, like, we just want to find our copy of, we'll find one of our alternate win conditions. But again, this is like way too much stuff to do, so we're going to skip that. We're doing the Lost Mines of Pendelver. It's a 4-step dungeon, so all you gotta do is be able to cast Acererak 4 times and you complete it. And then, you know, we're gonna go back and we're gonna keep mining the Lost Mine of Pendelver. We're going to get, you know, we're gonna scry, we're gonna create a treasure token, we're gonna make each opponent lose a life and we gain a life, and then we're gonna draw a card. And we're gonna do that until everyone's life total is 0. That's the plan. This is a aristocrat-style ping deck, and to do this deck we need some serious love, and by serious love I mean some seriously powerful cards. But we're gonna start off with our creatures. We got Viscera Seer, sacrifice a creature, scry 1. Once we get to a certain point where, if we're going through the Lost Mines of Pendelver and we're looping over and over again, we can create the Goblin tokens and have this in play to be able to sack those to be able to get the scries, so we can make sure we got what we want to draw on top. When we get to the draw step is the card we want. We got Shambling Ghast. When it dies, choose 1. You can give a -1/-1 counter to a target creature your opponent controls, or you can create a treasure token. Basically, it's a 1/1 to block something and get a treasure token. Haunted Nightmare. Enters the battlefield, opponent puts Death Touch creature to control, a menace. It's just, like, this might stick around in everything. I mean, it is a 4/5 for 3. It's just a nice beat stick, a nice little beat stick, nice little defender. But I think in later version, if I do end up cutting some more cards from this deck, this is probably on the chopping block. We got Runescar Demon. We got 7 mana. We can search 7 mana tutor spell with a 6/6 body attached. I love it. This deck can go pretty late. So yeah, having that the demon right there to be able to tutor and finally find the card we need. Yes. Gravecrawler. This is probably one of the cards we are going to be searching our deck for the most in this entire thing. Zombie Tribal is a theme in the deck, but getting this out is like key for so much of our combo. We need this, and it's gonna be cast from the graveyard repeatedly, because once we have a zombie in play and a way to make mana off of this to be able to sack it, yeah, we're going to cast this over and over and over and over and over and over until, and probably make a bunch of zombie tokens with Magus of... Oh, not Magus of the Coffers isn't going to do it, but Magus of the Coffers is going to make us a ton of mana to be able to keep recasting Gravecrawler. It's, you know, pay 2, tap, add a black for every mana pool for each swamp you control. Nice. Torment the Dissenter. When one or more cards leave your battlefield, create a tap, 2/2 black zombie tokens. So that means Gravecrawler, this is out. Gravecrawler is in play, is in the graveyard. We can bring it back. It's leaving the graveyard. It's going to make a 2/2 zombie to go into our other sack outlets. Nice. Gravecrawler Zealot, sacrifice another creature, artifact, severe one, so we can draw, and we can look at it, and we can either put it in the graveyard. We do have a few cards we want to have in the graveyard, so this is a key piece of that combo. Enabler. Yeah, so whatever... Yeah, so LG Acolyte, basically I put this in here just because I thought it's cool. Whenever, you know, a creature you control deals combat damage to the player, you draw a card and lose a life. It's a little extra card advantage. It's got lifelink, it's a 4/4, and at the beginning of your end step, if an non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or was warped, you can create a 2/2 robot token. We have a lot of ways that we're going to be sacrificing some stuff, so we're going to be able to get another 2/2 robot off the deal. Also, you know, just being able to get some card advantage when we're actually like having to actually attack with the zombies. That's awesome. Force Paladin, another early 1-drop, so we can actually do some stuff on turn 1. Just, you know, pay life, make treasure token, sets us up for being able to play something really nasty the next following turn. Magus to the Bridge. We want to have this in play because we need a couple of extra. We need another second Bridge from Below capability. So we got this out, and you know, we sacrifice our Gravecrawler. It's going to make a zombie token, and yeah, it's going to be. This is going to be played on our big combo turn. Massacre Worm, just a little board wipe against small creatures. Whenever a creature an opponent controls is put into the graveyard, lose 2 life. We do have some mass board wipes. This one can take care of the small stuff, so we can get some incremental damage when we're dirtling if we need it. Revenant, whenever a swamp is tapped for mana, add an additional black, so it's some ramp spells for us. It's supposed to be done so we can just make this thing huge, but no, this is play this out, double our mana so we can play big stuff. Zulpil Cutthroat, we're going to be sacrificing a lot of creatures, and that's going to gain us a lot of life, and possibly this could, if, you know, we could possibly generate enough, we can make enough tokens. This is lethal. This is a viable win condition. Gwen Remorseless, just being able to put this out, attack with it, and then getting free spells off the top of our deck. A lot of our tutors do just put cards onto the top of our deck, so being able to attack and then get this triggered, and or even just cast stuff from the top of our deck until we actually get the thing we need. Grey Merchant Asphodel, again, we're going to be making a ton of mana, and you know, draining our opponent out is a way to win. It's also a way to keep us in the game until we can, you know, get set up a killer combo move. Dungeon Crawler. Yeah, so whenever you complete the dungeon, so we're going to be completing the dungeon, you know, basically if every 4 black mana we have, we're going to be able to complete the dungeon. So if this is in our graveyard, if we sacrificed it in order for an effect, we can be able to bring this back into our hand, drop it down, and use it as another sack outlet to make some mana, or mill our opponent, or whatever we need it to be, and or have a creature enter and die. and then we complete the dungeon and bring it back, and then we have another creature that enters and dies. You see the point I'm trying to get to. Cryptghast, yep, just another mana doubler. There's a lot of the ways we get there is mana doubling to be able to just be like, okay, I have, you know, I've got all these mana doublers, I've got, you know, 10 swamps in play, so I got 20 mana, and I'm just going to play Acererak 20 times in a row because I've reduced its casting cost. You're starting to see a picture with those. Flash, Treasure Backstory, cast a spell, only if a creature's died this turn. It's Commander, somebody's going to die. This is just a way to reset our board when somebody plays a board wipe and gets another creature. You know, black creatures enter the battlefield. We get to drain our opponent each opponent for 1, and we gain 1. And it has the ability for us to be able to sacrifice a creature to draw a card. So card draw and life gain. Yeah, so at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, each opponent loses 3 life. If we did want to go the turbo Acererak route, we could put this out and then basically just be draining our opponents for 3, using all of our mana to be able to, you know, cast other stuff. So possible. This one might be a cut at some point in the future. Priest of the Haunted Edge, sacrifice the Priest of the Haunted Edge. Yeah, removal based on how many snowlands we got. Not bad, not bad. You can sit there and chump block some stuff. It's not that bad of a card. Death Priest of Miracle, skeletons, vampires, and zombies you control get +1/+1. So we do end up having to go the zombie tribal route to victory. This will give us, you know, tons of zombies. We do have some sacrifice outlets, so we can always be able to trigger that, where we can pay the 1 and get a 2/2 black skeleton, because well, it's a 1/1, but that's in play, so it's a 2/2. Murderous Rider, just a removal spell, and then a that when the creature dies, it goes back into the deck. Not too shabby. Okay, now we're into the artifacts, and this is where the deck really starts to shine. Command Sphere, just a mana rock, but it's also a draw card. Phyrexian Altar, this is the MVP. This and a zombie and a token maker, and the Gravecrawler in play is just going to ramp you up so much. Especially if you got like Magus of the Bridge or Bridge from Below, that's in the deck as well. If you got those online, a Gravecrawler with those online, you're going to make infinite mana. Sacrificing the Gravecrawler over and over and over, getting a 2/2 zombie every time, and then this will pop off, and voila, you have infinite mana and can just basically cast the commander infinite amount of times in order to win. Bantu's Monument, black creature spells cost 1 less to cast. That turns a Acererak from a 3-drop to a 2-drop. And whenever you cast a creature spell, so whenever I cast my commander, I'm going to drain each opponent loses 1 life and I gain 1 life. Yeah. Altar of Dementia. So again, if we're just got this in play and if we got Phyrexian Altar and Altar of Dementia in play, with those tokens, we don't even have to play our commander. We can just mill everyone out right on the spot. If they do get rid of the Phyrexian Altar, so we can't do infinite commander drops, then we can just do the Altar of Dementia and get to a point where it's like, okay, I'll spend this much money, this much mana, get these many zombies in play and sacrifice them, and it's 2 power, so all of our zombies are 2 power. If we got the Lords in play, then they're 3 power, so we're milling for 2, 3 for one black mana. Yeah. Moon Silverkey, this is our tutor effect for our Phyrexian Altar. So basically, this is just another, we play this and we crack it and we go get the Phyrexian Altar when we're ready to combo off. Wishclaw Talisman, another tutor to go get any of the combo pieces we need. Granted, we're going to be giving this over to our opponent, but chances are, everybody says Wishclaw sucks because of that, but if you can give it to someone and right after you just go and get the combo piece you need to win, so this is kind of like you put it down, you wait till you need to crack it, and then crack it. Another, put it down and wait until you need to crack it. Nefel's Disc, just having a tactical nuke on the board that can just blow up everything, reset the game, is nice. Nyx Lotus, if we do end up, dropping a bunch of creatures and having stuff in play, you can just be able to tap this and make whatever our Devotion of Black is for black mana. Another card I really like. The Eternity Elevator. Yeah, we can easily, if we have the Phyrexian Altar in play and the Gravecrawler, and we have another zombie, we can easily play the Gravecrawler, station this, sack it, pay the mana, bring it back, and get to the point where we can just keep we can be like, make 20 black mana, or even get to the point where it's like, this has got like, I'm gonna say it's got 2 million. Yeah, so again, we need stuff to sacrifice, so Bitter Blossom, we're gonna be getting a bunch of life and using these as chump blockers, and also to sacrifice out. So yeah, put the Bitter Blossom in here. Sipsig Ceremony, another token maker. Creature spells you cost 2 less to cast. Whenever a creature you control enters, if it was cast, destroy that creature, then create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So the Sipsig Ceremony, you have that in play. It makes Acererak cost 2 less. You put the triggers on the stack. The Sipsig Ceremony ability goes on the stack first. Then the Acererak trigger goes on. So then Acererak will bounce it back to its hand. It will not create the 2/2 zombie or destroy that, because it has to destroy that creature, then create a 2/2 zombie. So it can't destroy it. So it's like, oh, okay, ability fizzles. But it does mean this only costs 1 to cast all the time. And if you play any other things that will automatically just die, that will trigger your Bridge from Below, make this zombie, make the other zombie, and then you can sacrifice those off to to your thing. So basically, if you got this in play and you've got the Gravecrawler and the Phyrexian Altar, you're basically paying 1 mana to make 2 to be able to make 2 mana. Nice. Tiny Bones Jones up, another, whenever your legendary, whenever the enters, any number of players each discard a card, so you can basically pay 1, make everybody else discard a card, and whenever you're casting your commander, each of your opponents is going to mill a card and lose a life, so you can just basically be like, I'll keep casting my commander, keep going through the dungeon, keep making you all mill until you have no cards left in your deck. If that's that ends up being a viable win condition for the deck, you'll win even before you make them lose too much life, just by basically cycling through the dungeon. Warlock class, beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, each opponent loses 1 life. So you have so many ways. Even with Sipsig, it's going to make creatures die if you cast them. So you're going to be basically draining everybody for life if at the end of their turn for 1 point. When I become level 2, look at the top 3 cards. Your library, put 1 of them into your hand, put the rest into your graveyard, so you can basically pay the 2 to make this level 2. Once you've got one of the tutor spells that puts the card on top of your library, just to be able to draw that. So that ends up being a good little investment. And then at the beginning of if you go to level 3, which is crazy, but at the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses life equal to the life they lost this way. So you can basically just be like, alright, everybody's going to lose 20 life, and then at the end of your turn, oh, guess what? You lose 20 more life. GG's, everybody. So there's some built-in backup win conditions into this deck in case you get kind of stumbled. Dreadhorde Invasion, being your upkeep, you lose a life and amass 1. Make the zombie token. Whenever a zombie token you control with power 6 or greater attacks, it gains lifelink until end turn. So you just basically amass a huge army. It's kind of like a Bitter Blossom. If the zombie does die, then you just, make a zombie. So it's like Bitter Blossom number 2. Granted, they don't fly, but it does allow you to get to a point where you're like, okay, I got chump blockers, or I got things to feed into my sack outlets. Again, like I said, you're going to be gaining so much life, it's not even relevant. Bridge from Below. This was actually signed by one of the pro players I met at So he was the guy who had top decked, who had top aided the tournament before the Star City Games Boston in 2010, I want to say. It was the just after Mirrored and Besieged came out. Went to Star City Games Boston, met the guy, got him to sign it. I was running Dredge in the Legacy event, so I was just like, hey man, sign one of my Bridge from Belows. So it made it so I could never really sell this Bridge from Below, but that's great because I always want to have a Bridge from Below for these graveyard decks. This one is such an enabler by any time that, you know, I need to have this in the graveyard, be able to get my extra zombies. So it's even why if I've got this in my hand and I've got a target player, you know, a player discard effect on it, I will target myself just to be able to throw a Bridge from Below away so I can start setting up the zombie tokens. I would advise you to keep this in your hand and then try to find a way to discard it later on, because you really don't want to have this sitting in your graveyard for somebody to like just sacrifice one of their creatures or some creature dies or they remove your graveyard, because it is such a key piece to the combo. You kind of want to only put this into your graveyard at the very last minute when you are ready to start, you know, turbo dungeoning and going over and over and over again. Heartless Summoning, another version of the Simzig. You're just wanting an enchantment that makes your creatures cost 2 less to cast, so Acererak is only costing you 1 black mana. You don't care if it gives all your creatures -1/-1 because basically you're just going to try to loop the dungeon so many times. And zombie tokens, they all have are 2/2, so they will be able to survive through this. It's just the Bitter Blossom and other stuff that will probably like die, but that's okay. Deadly Dispute, the additional cost is sacrifice artifact creature, draw 2 cards, create a treasure token. Chances are you're going to be making some treasure tokens, or you'll have a creature you want to have die, or you'll want to basically be able to you know, trigger the Bridge from Below or something like that. It's cool. Does let you get the card draw effect and a little bit of ramp, so I like it. I would probably replace it with a different tutor spell at some point, but all the rest of my tutor spells are in here right now, so it's kind of staying for now. Baleful Mastery, yeah, another straight up removal spell. If you want to cast it for cheap, you can just let the opponent draw a card, but you straight up exile a creature or planeswalker so you can get rid of a problem thing. Yeah, they're drawing something, but chances are if you're just getting rid of it, they're not getting something as good as that. Shatter Soul, each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the highest converted mana cost among creatures or planeswalkers to control. So yeah, you can get somebody's really big, beefy bomb off the table at instant speed. Murder, straight up, 3 mana, kill a creature. Play it in every deck that has black should have a murder in it. Withering Torment, every deck that plays black should have a Withering Torment in play, because getting to destroy enchantments is very hard. Getting rid of planeswalkers, creatures, artifacts, much easier. Enchantments, really hard. So Withering Torment, this has become a staple ever since it's been printed. And yeah, you're going to be gaining a bunch of life with this deck, so losing 2 life is not an issue. Now we get into the sole planeswalker of the deck, Liliana of the Dark Realms. We want to get her to her 6th ability. So basically we are going to be plussing her to be able to get the swamps into our hand, thin out our deck a little bit, also make sure we're hitting our land drops every turn, and then once we can get to having 6 loyalty on her, we want that emblem as fast as we can so we can ramp up, and chances are once we do pop that off, we'll be at 7 lands hopefully. So we'll have 7 times 3 is 12 plus 16, so we're looking at 28. Yeah, 7 times 4. We're at 28 mana, so we can basically Acererak, and if we got the cheapener, then yeah, we can go through the Lost Mines of Phandelver 7 times in a row, just off of our of that mana. So yeah, it's nuts. Profane Command, we're getting into our tutors. Basically almost every sorcery in this deck is a tutor. This one has Suspend 2, so you just
Turn 2, you can just suspend this and wait until it goes off and then get whatever card you need in order to fix and go for the combo at the time. Or possibly, if things have gotten out of hand by the time that you remove the last... no, you're going to wait 2 more turns. It's going to be 2 time counters. So if things have gone wrong by turn 4 for you, then you can go get a board wipe or whatever problem fix card you need. Grim Tutor, yep, pay 3 mana, pay 3 life, get whatever card you need, put it into your hand. Because this deck relies so hard on having key combo pieces, you want the Grim Tutor. Villainous Wrath, one of our 5-drop Wrath effect. So everybody's going to, target opponent loses life equal to the number of creatures they control, so you target the person that's got the most creatures, and then you just blow up everything on the board. Awesome. Crippling Fear, choose a creature type. This is in here as a board wipe against tribal decks. So basically, actually no, choose a creature type, creatures that aren't the chosen type. So yeah, you're basically playing this and saying zombies every time, and everything that isn't a zombie is going to get -3/-3. Against somebody who's doing like a go-wide who doesn't have a lot of big creatures, has a lot of small stuff, this is just a good board wipe against small stuff. Damnation, yeah, we're just going to blow up everything. Beseech the Queen. Yeah, this deck is going to be able, like, from turn 3 on, this card will basically get you anything you need for the deck at the proper time. Just really nice to have another tutor spell in the deck. Demonic Tutor. Yep, search for a library for a card, put it in your hand, and shuffle your library for 2 mana. We're tutoring. And then we got Seismic Symmetry. We do have some draw effects in the deck, so we can make use of the whole thing of, putting this on top of our deck and then drawing the card. You can kind of get to the point where you're about ready to where you've gone and you visited the Dark Pool in the Lost Mines, and then played Seismic Symmetry, and then you're going to go right to the Temple of Damnation to draw this into your hand. So you're like, whoop, we're good. So, Grim Bounty, destroy target creature, planeswalker, create a treasure token. So it says it costs 4, but it really only costs 3. Imperial Seal, yeah, just another good tutor spell. I mean, you search your library for any card, shuffle library and put it on top, and then you put this one. You also play at the same time when you got a draw effect that's going to happen right after you play this. So yeah, no. Stigma event, choose even or odd, exile each creature with mana cost of the chosen value. So we got another 4-drop board wipe. Now we're getting into so the Thoughtseize is in there. It's not in this deck really to make my opponents discard cards. This is an enabler for me to have to discard a card to get the Bridge from Below into my graveyard at the key point that I want it discarded. So that is the plan, to play Thoughtseize myself, discard Bridge, and then just go off. Beseech the Mirror. So this one, a 4-drop. All of my combo pieces that get me to the point where I'm like, are all 4-drops. So yeah, I can sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or token as I cast the spell. That's why I've got a lot of the make a treasure token, and a lot of the creature token creators. So I'm like, okay, I create the token, I struck the bargain, and the thing that I'm looking for costs 4 or less. Then I can just straight up put it into play. That's amazing. And be like, okay, 4-drop, tutor it, cast it for free, and we're off to the races to actually play to do our combo trick. Zombie Apocalypse, return all zombie cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped, then destroy all humans. Yes, it is hard to find somebody who's playing an all-human deck for Zombie Apocalypse to really be good, but it's just a nice way to be like, okay, I'm going to bring all my zombies back, especially to be able to reset after a board wipe. So you'll have a zombie, and you'll have the Gravecrawler, so you can start comboing off. It's cool. And of course, we got the snow creature, Snow Matters card that's in here. So we're playing snow-covered swamps. I love playing snow-covers for all of my monocolor decks just because, you know, it's a cool theme. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27. We got 27 snow-covered swamps in the deck. Next up is our non-basic lands. I wanted to keep going with the D&D theme, so we got the Hive of the Eye Tyrant, mono black man land. You pay 4 and it becomes a 3/3 beholder creature beholder with menace, and whenever this creature attacks, exile a tyrant card from defending player's graveyard. Still land, so I can get some graveyard hate with my land and also be able to attack him for 3. We got the Witch's Cottage. Enters the battlefield tapped unless I control 3 or more other swamps. It is a swamp itself, so it will be counted up for all those mana doublers. And will tap for 4 when Liliana does her ultimate. When it enters the battlefield tapped, you may put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. So if I got a key creature I want to bring back, such as one of those extra tappers. So, yeah, it's going to come into play untapped for me to get that thing back. But that's later in the game, so I'll probably play this after I played all those so I can get my mana doubler creatures back. Command Beacon, sacrifice command beacon, put your commander in your hand from the command zone. So if somebody counters my commander, makes me want to have to pay extra for the commander tax, then I'll cheat that by basically bouncing them with my hand. Because if you're casting them from your hand, you don't have to pay the commander tax. So I can get around that, where people are like, okay, we'll kill your commander, kill your commander. And I'm like, oh man, all my mana reducers have been like negated, and I'm gonna have to actually start paying like real mana for it. I'm like, no, okay, put it in my hand. All right, we're good. Castle Lockwind. I love this art because it looks like a Star Destroyer about ready to blow up like a little village. So it enters tapped unless you control a swamp. So it's not a swamp itself, but it does have the ability to basically pay 4 mana to draw a card, then lose life equal to the number of cards in your hand. Just being able to use this to set up for get the tutors that put the card on top of my library. A repeatable draw spell is good, and because I'm making so much mana, chances are I'm probably not going to have that many cards in hand, so it's okay. Urza Saga. You know, I keep debating on whether or not this should stay in the deck or not. It makes a colorless. It can make a construct. I don't have a lot of real artifacts in the deck. Like, it's not a huge like artifact deck. And search my library for artifact card with a 0 or 1 mana. Put it onto the battlefield. Again, I don't have a lot of stuff that's actually like this deck is prime to use, so I'm probably going to pull this out and just put another snow-covered swamp in, or possibly some other cool like mono black utility land. Cabal Stronghold. Pay 3 tap, add 1 black mana for each basic swamp you control. 3 Tree City. Choose a creature type. I can pay 2 and choose a color, add mana of that color equal to the number of creatures you control of the chosen type. So this is going to come in, I'm going to name zombies, and I'm going to make a lot of black mana off of this. We got Polluted Delta, fetch land just so I can crack it to be able to search through to get swamp, just to deck thin a little bit. We got Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. Turns all my lands into swamps, so all those ones where swamps tap for extra mana. This basically enables all my non-swamps to become swamps. Another Bloodstained, another fetch land. Cabin of Souls, just wanted to have this in the deck, so if I'm playing Acererak, yeah, that makes it so Acererak can't be countered when I tap this to be able to cast him. And Cabal Coffers, yep. Pay 2, tap, add black for each swamp you control, so it combos with Urborg. Everything's a swamp. This is even a swamp, so it's even making it a mana for itself. And that is Turbo Dungeons. it's not like the most super competitive deck. I mean, it has a lot of stuff in it. It's only a power level 3, but it definitely is the deck that a lot of people, when they see me play it, they're kind of like, oh no, because it has the ability, once the combo is set up, to win, but it is kind of fragile and can be disrupted with some graveyard hate, and especially like counter spells and stuff like that. So yeah, it's it's fun, and powerful, but it's not like over powerful. So that's why I like this one.